If you're running a trading strategy manual or automated, you need to track more than just profits. The pros use data to optimize every part of their performance, and today I'm going to show you 5 metrics they obsess over. Metrics you can start tracking right now, even in a basic spreadsheet. And stick around because there's some bonuses at the end, and it's something that 99% of retail traders overlook, and it could be costing you big. So number 1, the first metric that you should be actively tracking is total trades. This is your sample size. Without enough trades or your sample size, right, your results really don't mean much. 10 to 20 trades might feel like a lot for some people, but statistically it's insignificant. Pros wait for dozens, sometimes even hundreds of trades before actually trusting the data, right? And good news, with Arcade, you actually have all of that data available to you. You could test this out as a paper trade or a real-time live trade, okay? Number 2, the next most important metric is net profit, or if you're unfortunate, net loss. This is the actual money you've made or lost, but it's only the surface level. It won't tell you if your wins are consistent, lucky, or driven by one outlier trade. Useful, but not the whole story. So, again, in Arcade, you're able to actively see your net P&L on a net level, right? Your P&L on a net level and a gross level, right? So yeah, that is number 2. Third, you're gonna think about fees, which is slippage and commission, okay? Most retail traders forget this part. If your strategy makes 3%, but you're losing 2% to slippage and fees, you're really not making anything. Pro traders know that net profit equals gross profit minus costs. So track your true take-home P&L. And again, inside of Arcade, you're actively able to see those things, right? So your net P&L, we have that here. Your gross P&L, we have that here. So obviously your gross P&L is your revenue, so to speak, in business terms, and your net P&L is your revenue minus your costs, which is fees, okay? So next, the 4th most important thing is your win rate. This is how often you're right, and no, higher isn't always better. You can win 80% of the trades and still lose money if your winners are small and your losses are big. Use this alongside risk reward and average P&L per trade. So again, inside of Arcade, you're actively able to see your win rate. And so right here, so inside of your trade history, you're going to go over to the trade history tab. You're going to be able to see the win rate right over here. And 5th, last, pretty exciting stuff, is your best trade, your outlier. This tells you if your performance is consistent or carried by one fluke win. If your P&L looks good, but your best trade accounts for 80% of it, that's a risk. Pros use this to check for reliability and versus randomness. And again, inside of Arcade, you're actively able to see your entire trade history and the P&L for each. And you can filter this by, greatest or least, right? So, your greatest winner or your biggest loser, right? So you're able to filter that right over here. And again, I mentioned there would be some bonuses at the end, which is average hold time, and then also some other cool stuff. So average hold time, this is how long you keep positions open. It affects your exposure to risk, your emotional energy, and even your strategy category. If you're a scalper, you're not going to hold very long. If you're a position trader, you're going to hold longer, right? So here's why pros care about it. If your losers are held longer than your winners, your psychology is working against you. If your average hold time doesn't match your intended time frame, your execution is broken. If your hold time is too short or too long for your asset's volatility, your results will suffer. Almost no one talks about this, but it changes everything once you start optimizing for it. And again, inside of Arcade, you're actively able to see your average hold time right over here, and also your best trade, which we talked about earlier, okay? So that is bonus, right? That is a bonus. We talked about the average hold time, but at the same time, we haven't even talked about the fact that you're able to monitor that on your, historical basis, right? And also on your live positions, right? So you have your unrealized P&L and also your realized P&L, position value, all these things, and also a bunch of other analytics and metrics and graphs and charts and blah, 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 all inside Arcade. And also, we offer backtesting. So you're able to monitor those exact same stats on a historical basis, right? So over the past 365 days or 7 periods, let's just say 7, we're on the 1-minute chart right now, I think. Over the last 7 minutes, what are my stats looking like? And you could get a full rundown. And again, monitor profit and loss, all this stuff. Okay. So hopefully that was a worthwhile bonus. And, to kind of summarize here, if you're not tracking at least 3 of these metrics, you're not really running a strategy, you're gambling. Start simple, build a spreadsheet, or use a tool like Arcade that tracks these things automatically because pros don't guess, they measure. Thanks. Bye. Oh, last thing, feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and yeah, let me know if you want to see anything else.